Hello everyone, welcome to my cooking video for today. I'm Scotty. Seems redundant to keep saying that, but I have to remember not everybody comes to see my videos and may have no flocking idea who this old grizzled geezer is. Well, today yes, the other day I went out and got 3.73, almost 4 pounds of hamburger, and I've just divided that up into even segments. And I have some plans for that. Now, if Ron was home, I would have used 2 pounds each or whatever, because well, Ron eats a bit more than I do, and I like to have leftovers for the morning. I'm not a person that wants cereal or whatever. I go into the fridge and grab whatever foods we had the night before. Or I cook, like the other night for myself. I took 4 eggs, broke them open, scrambled them up, had some toast, little ketchup and hot sauce. Good meal. Anyway, so I'm going to explain in a second what I have done. Now, is there a way to change this to... Nope, there's not. All right. I'm going to sign off here and start again with it looking at the other stuff. I'm Scotty. This is going to go on Scotty's Playtime, hopefully. Best wishes to everyone, and by goodness, hugs to those who want them. Although, maybe from this scary mug, people might want to step back a bit. Anyway, that was a joke. I got to trim this mustache and beard up. Oh well. Alright. See you in video 2. Alrighty. So, I'm Scotty. This is going on Scotty's Playtime. What I did was I took 3 pounds or nearly 4 pounds of hamburger and divided it up into 3 containers. This one in here is going to be a sloppy goulash. Now, I put the hamburger in a little bit of tomato juice, and that black stuff you see there is... Ron likes these bouillon pastes. Now, I'm getting used to them. Before, I'd just throw bouillon cubes in there. But he's right, they do have quite a bit of salt. So there's about 1.25 pounds in there. Now, over here, this is the bouillon paste I used. I kind of wiped it out on him. As always, my go-to favorite, garlic. And here we got some complete seasonings. I used to have Everglade, and Ron stopped buying that, and I'm going to have to get on him to buy it. Everglade Seasonal is perfect for this kind of stuff. It's salty enough and flavorful enough. Little oregano, as always, a little basil, and my other go-to favorite, fajita. I love fajita. And a little salt and a little pepper, and we dice it up as we go along. Remember, this is a sloppy goulash. It's going to be a very liquidy broth. I wish the hamburger I got was 80-20. That puts a lot more fat into the sauce, the broth. Unfortunately, I could only get 7%, and I couldn't stand on my feet long enough to try to argue around with all the stuff to try to see if, I mean, they only had the entire hamburger section was less width than my old stove here. So, I mean, it was pretty sparse there. Mother Hubbard was looking in her cupboard. Anyway, I'm going to throw all this together. When I get done, I'm going to have to make a choice of rigatoni. I like the miniature ones. Or elbows. Elbows are good also. The small elbows, because they get the juice inside them. Or Ron's been getting these narrow, or not narrow, they're kind of wide, but they're short. And I don't even know what the name of them is. Let me see if I can pan over here to the cupboard. Let me see. I've been really digging into the popcorn since I had the steroid shots. These are them. I can't see a name on them, but if you see, they're kind of just a long tube. A little bigger than I want, though. I want something like these elbows that can be scooped up in a spoon. Alrighty. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty. This is Going On Scotty's Playtime. And best wishes for everybody and hugs for those who want them. Okay, this is what I get. Oh, shoot. Let me start again. I'm Scotty. This is Going On Scotty's Playtime. This is what I get for not being prepared when I'm going to do a video. I have some white mushrooms to slice up. The leftover bit of peppers, but don't you worry. I got me a half of one that Ron left, and there's a whole one or two in there. The rest of the onion, and as I said, I don't like a lot of onion. And a bit of diced celery. Now, on my video on spaghetti sauce, I really did you all a disservice. Because somebody mentioned to me that they didn't know how some of the flavors work together that I was talking about. And I want to tell you right now, you gotta be careful with diced celery. Because celery can add a green taste that is very hard to get out. And I don't know how to explain a green taste except green garden vegetables. So, be careful with it. Don't go dumping a whole container or a whole head of celery that you've chopped up in something. You know, put it in stages. And as for the rest, mushrooms again, put in when the stuff is hot. That's when they absorb the flavor. Now the goulash I'm going for is going to be a meaty hamburger soup. Other people like more like a chili mac or something. Anyway, this is Scotty. Best wishes for everybody. I'm watching Essence of Thought, Ethel. He's got a video up about how J.K. Rowling turned Harry Potter into a symbol of hate. I can't even watch clips of the show now because of her. And, oh, she's a bitter, bitter lady. If I had that kind of money, live and let live. Anyway, so, best wishes to everybody. Hugs and thanks to those who want them. Okay, this is Scotty. This will be going on Scotty's Playtime. Now look, I don't want anybody to think I am an expert. Not even in using my camera to point at a pot. But I just added a bunch of seasonings and I wanted to talk about it. I already told you what they were, and I did. Boy, someday these rented teeth are gonna work again. I did tell you what I'm looking for out of it. And I'm missing some of the seasonings. I'm sure they're up there in that cupboard Ron has hidden. But this is not a spaghetti sauce. So oregano is only there to add a background flavor. Basil is only there to add a little sweetness. This you want to use a lot more of. It's a more robust seasoning for, well, you could use it on meat. I have another bottle of fajita up there, and that's used for tacos and stuff like that. And I'm going to be dipping into it. I have some other seasonings up there, some Mrs. Dash's ones in that I want to get to. But for now, I got to start chopping up my vegetables and getting them in there. And I got to do the dishes. There's the scale I used. And I got some of that stuff. There's the other. I already put one part of the meat in the refrigerator because I have 3 goals with this package of meat. One is this, what I'm creating behind me, a goulash, soupy goulash. The other one, I'm going to use some sloppy Joe mix, and here it is. This is the kind we like, and you can get it at Walmart. It's not as acidic in that as Manwich and the other brands. Here's my pot for boiling the pasta. I always boil my pasta before adding it to anything I make. If you don't, you're going to get a lot of starches and that, and it's going to end up clotting on you, giving it a clingy, cloying taste. You don't want that. At least I don't. Now, there's probably people out there that do like it. So, the other thing I intended to do with the meat, remember I had 3 meals I want to make. The other one is one of my favorites, tacos. Now, we go back and forth. Ron really likes the Taco Bell seasoning. I don't care, because I can dress it up as I want. And this actually has seasonings that may go right into my my goulash here. And when it comes to tacos, I like, excuse my snack, I just got my steroids the other day, and I like these larger size shells. Ron kind of sometimes gets the 4-inch ones, and I put one of these, I break them in half. On top of them I put a layer of lettuce, then break it in half, put the sauces and all the stuff on them. And so those are the 3 meals I wish to make out of the hamburger I bought. It's expensive, but it's a lot cheaper than steaks and roasts. Alrighty, everybody. I'm going back to watching the TV and cooking. My name is Scotty. This will be going on Scotty's Playtime. As always, best wishes for everybody and hugs for those that want them. Okay, so I just chopped up my mushrooms. Now, I want everybody to understand. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to start with the obligatory, big word I struggle with sometimes. Hi, I'm Scotty, and this is going on Scotty's Playtime. Now, if we can just get past that, I've added my mushrooms. As you see, I like big mushrooms. I really am a fan of mushrooms, just like garlic. You'll notice the broth has darkened. That was on purpose. I wanted a beefier taste to this goulash. However, should I need to tomato-y it up, I have tomato juice. I am not going to use pastes or anything like that because I want soupy. Now, I probably will add more tomato juice because it all depends on how much I want. But you can see, I added more peppers. I chopped them up. There's the hamburger. There's the celery. You know, the onion's in here somewhere. So everything basically is good to go. Now I just have to turn the heat back up and let it simmer. I turned it down a while ago. So let's get her simmering back up. I have my pasta pot ready to go. Now, I don't normally use the pasta pot for pasta. And I'll tell you why. It's perfect for pasta. Pasta does not stick in this thing due to those ridges and bumps on the bottom. But if you're going to be making a very large spaghetti sauce or something like that, the sauce also won't stick to the bottom if you get a little careless and walk away. So, but today, since I've cooked this in a regular pot, and there she's coming back up to boil, and so I can use this. I probably will not make a lot of pasta because, you know, Ron's not here and it's me, and he left enough food. When he left, there's still containers of it in the freezer. I've eaten all the food he's left since the 11th. And I decided I needed a break and kind of went to cook for myself. So anyway, I wish you could smell this broth coming up. Oh, it is so meaty and beefy with just a tinge of tomato. Anyway, I'm going to let you go and get to cooking this. Yeah. Don't be afraid to add the seasonings to your own taste. Don't be afraid it's going to ruin it or whatever, because you can always fix most stuff, and if something goes wrong, well, you learn from it. Anyway, I'm Scotty. I really appreciate all of you who come here to my blog, and I appreciate Allie and Randy who take up a lot of the slack when I'm not able to do much anymore, so they post and respond to comments and that is absolutely grand. They're priceless. Hello everyone, this is Scotty. This will be going on Scotty's Playtime. I've had a rather rough day, but I'm trying to get the cooking recipe or video I did for goulash last night on the get it into a video format and put it on the blog. But I realized when I was doing it, there was some things that I had left out. First of all, there's a soy sauce I really like that I often put in to things that I want to have a more meatier taste, a beefy taste, a darker taste, and that's LaChoy all-purpose soy sauce. I guess, to me, the only way I can remember it is in the grocery store, is it's the one that comes down and has a rather long neck and a bell bottom. I think that's the one. Yeah, it looks like it on the screen. The second thing I wanted to add was that I put the mushrooms in much earlier in the video than what you saw. I put them in when it was boiling, or not boiling, but simmering pretty hard. And then I had let it cool so I could do some other things to it. Oh, I'm sure there's a dozen other things on the videos and on the cooking you'll ask me. Now for tonight, I had a thought to do something different. I'm getting a little tired of all these tomato-based meals and that. Like I said, since Ron left, I have, on the 11th, he had pre-made baked ziti using one of my sauces, pre-made 2 different kinds of raviolis, meat and cheese using my sauce, and all this other stuff, and I don't eat like I used to. Now, I am on steroids now this week, which makes me a lot hungrier. But quite frankly, I don't, and he does have a good appetite and that, but I think he overestimates how much I can eat by myself. Anyway, thank you for watching these videos. I'm going to keep trying to do them. I learn every time that I do them, and I respect all of you people. I learn from you, and I like you. And it's an exciting way for me to reach out and say hello. Because one of the things that I really do like to go to when the world just seems, well, there's some vulgar words that I learned in my childhood, but let's just say the wheelbarrow is upside down. And one of those things is cooking, providing a good quality meal. Not just for myself, but for whoever might be in the house. I'm a big one into hospitality. No one has ever come to my house and left hungry. They did, they were just ashamed to say yes when I offered it to them. Anyway, as Belle would say, and Bo before her, it's just a thought. I'm Scotty. This will be the last video on the goulash cooking. So, this will go on Scotty's Playtime. Best wishes to everyone, and I mean that. Really mean it. And hugs, of course, for those that would like them.